Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Live Dive. I hope you're having a great day so far, and got a few announcements for you before we get things started. One, remember this coming Sunday, March 11th, after the morning service, the bridge is going out to eat, and I have 4 different restaurant options for you in our latest poll for you guys to vote on. Right now, it looks like Red Robin and Mission Barbecue are in a dead heat with 4 votes each. So here's what I want you to do. If you haven't voted yet, go either to the poll on Facebook, on our Facebook page, The Bridge, or you can follow us on Twitter at TheBridge813, TheBridge813, and you can vote there for one of those options so we know where we're going to do or where we're going to eat on Sunday. And here's the reason why I want to do this. I want to celebrate my last Sunday being a single man. Many of you know that I am getting married next Saturday, and so I figured as a treat, hey, let's all go out and hang out and have a little bit of fun to celebrate my last week of being a single man, which is I'm not going to miss that. I'm looking forward to being married. Anyway, got a couple other announcements for you. Remember that this July, Sunday, July 1st through Friday, July 6th, is the Bridge mission trip. We are going to the country of Jamaica. If you are interested, please talk to me or talk to Angie or Brett Frazier. This is going to be an unbelievable trip. We always meet all sorts of people that are broken but love Jesus, and it's always an encouragement to talk to them, but also it's an opportunity for us to make an impact and be the hands and feet of Jesus to those that either don't know Christ or those that do but just need some help. Also, remember, Passion 19. It's next January 2nd, 3rd, and 4th in Atlanta. I need you guys to tell me if you want to go by Sunday, April 29th, so we can reserve the tickets. It is $139 each. I need for you guys, if you can, to give me that money by Sunday, April 29th. And what we will do is I will give you some of that money back as we are doing fundraisers to make this trip a little bit easier for you guys. Remember, you don't have to worry about hotel costs. You don't have to worry about that or gas to drive up there. All you need to do is worry about food and the event itself, which is $139. So let's go ahead and dive into what we want to talk about today. You know that every Tuesday for the last 5 or 6 weeks, we've been using the Live Dive as a preview for our Engage evangelism series that we've been doing on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. And so today we're going to wrap up basically our Live Dives on Engage, and we're going to wrap up our specific question on how do I share the gospel? How do I share the gospel? Tonight and tomorrow night, what we're going to do is we're going to be focusing on the next steps. In other words, you've established that relationship and started sharing the gospel with them. But now what's the next step? How do we react to when the person you're witnessing to, either responds negatively or positively to the message that you brought to them? Because a lot of times how we react to that and what we do after they give us a yes or no answer is just as important as us sharing the gospel itself. And so that's something we're going to talk about tomorrow night especially. But today I want to focus on one important truth for us to never forget, no matter how we respond. And that's this, is to not worry so much about how the person will react to what we are saying to them. Even Paul kind of talked about this in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 6. He says this about sharing the gospel. He said, I have planted, Apollos watered, but God gave the increase. So what he's saying is that Paul may have been the guy to come in and plant the seed, so to speak, of the gospel, but it was Apollos who came in after the fact, and really what he did when he invested in them is that he allowed the gospel to grow in them and that they really blossomed into more mature believers. So the question has to be asked, well, who in the world is this guy named Apollos that Paul kind of just brought up out of nowhere? Well, Apollos was actually already a very good teacher and preacher, and also a very good debater, going around and debating why why Jesus Christ was truly the Messiah. So this was a very gifted man, and Paul knew that. And so he understood a very important truth. And that truth is revealed in verse 8 of 1 Corinthians 3. This is what Paul says. Now he that planteth, which would be Paul, and he that watereth, which would be Apollos, are one. And every man shall receive his own reward according to his own labor. So the important truth here is this, is that we are all on the same team. And so just because maybe they didn't necessarily respond positively to your witnessing to them, maybe somebody else, maybe God has somebody else coming into the picture for them that kind of, I guess you could say, seals the deal, that really waters the seed that you planted in that person. And so remember this, whether you are the one that's watering or you're the one that's planting, whatever you do, God is just calling you to do that. He's just calling you to plant the seeds. He's just calling you to water. He will take care of the rest. Remember, Paul says that while he may have planted and while Apollos may have watered, it was God that was the one that ultimately would be the one responsible for to work on their lives. It's up to that person allowing God to work in them. It's not your fault whether they respond positively or negatively. So just remember that truth. It is simply our calling to plant the seed and to water it. And then God will take care of the rest. So be sure to come on out tomorrow night on our Wednesday night class at 7 p.m. as we continue to discuss this idea of when we share the gospel, how do we respond to those who react positively or negatively to it. Remember, come to the First Free Old Baptist Church of Tampa at 7 p.m. We'll be upstairs in the gym mezzanine, continuing and wrapping up this important discussion on evangelizing in our culture today. But until then, I'll see you tomorrow night. Have a good night, and God bless.